So we are hearing stories and learning more about God's presence in the world. And I've been reading about what different faith traditions and theologians have to say. And Kabir, who was a 15th century Indian mystic and saint, called God the secret one inside us, and described that as the planets in all the galaxies pass through his hands like beads. Baha'u'llah, who is the prophet and founder of the Baha'i faith, called God the unknowable presence. And God is described as closer to man than his life vein in the Quran. We've been hearing this Advent that God is as close to us as water, the baptismal waters that came to us through John the Baptizer, the accessibility of water that we find everywhere around us and within us. And now we hear that God also comes to us as light, not just for the powerful and privileged, but for everyone. Like water, light is everywhere, all around us and freely available. We hear about light in our hymns tonight. Light from light eternal, what great brightness did you see, the everlasting light. We heard it in Isaiah. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light, and on them has shined this light. We know of Jesus as the light of the world. And when the angel appears and shepherds experience the glory of the Lord shining all around them, it is so overwhelming that they are afraid by the brightness and the glory. I don't know about you, but I love Christmas lights. And one of my favorite traditions is my kids and I will drive around in the car. Now we make Dennis drive us, and we'll have cups of hot chocolate and we'll play Christmas carols and we'll look for all the lights. And we don't just love the places that have really decked out their homes, but we also have a great time shouting out hidden Christmas lights when we find a place where there's just maybe something in a window or just a little glimmer. I visited the Blossoms of Light show at the Botanic Gardens this past week, and that was like experiencing fireworks on the ground. It was glorious and so amazingly beautiful. But I also have such a sense of peace of just sitting on my couch in the dark living room, lit only by the lights of the Christmas tree, and just taking in that beauty and that tranquility. Or at a different time of year, maybe it's sitting and looking at a candle or a fire in the fireplace. I have to say that one of the things I'm going to have to talk to God about someday is the fact that we don't have fireflies in Colorado. That really, really bothers me because fireflies are awesome. And I don't know if you've ever been in a place where it was pitch black and it looked as though all the stars have come down from heaven and were just flashing about. And just the glorious comfort and peace and beauty of that is surely one of God's greatest creations. There is something about light that helps us more than just finding our way in the dark. There is something about light that fills us and gives us hope and comfort and courage at times. I know, and don't tell the Advent police, but I hung my Christmas lights at the beginning of November this year because I just felt like we needed more light. And they've been on every night since then, and I will be one of those souls late into January who will still have those lights shining. Jesus has been known as a beacon or sign in the face of a dark, cold spell that lies on the land. We hear in John's first chapter, verse 5, he was the light that shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. He is described as the light of the world shining in a darkness of despair, sin, and death. And light was there in the beginning, we know from Genesis, with God. And light has been broken and made new with the Easter resurrection. There is light that shines in the darkness on all people. And there is light that beckons us to come closer and be curious and take a deeper look. Those of you who attend church here regularly have probably heard the story I've told about the little Jesus who lives in my heart. When I was 10 years old, my 4th grade teacher told me, I went to a little Bible school in Taiwan. She told me if I just let Jesus in my heart, he was knocking at the door, and then Jesus would be with me. And being 10, I thought Jesus really lived in my heart. I had a little tiny Jesus that I took with me everywhere that I went. And I love that idea, not necessarily of the little Jesus, but of the light of Christ that lives inside each and every one of us. That gift of baptism and our connection to all of creation, the light of God that was named very good when we were created. And so when you are truly yourself, how do you let God's light shine for the world? We know that song, "This Little Light of Mine, I'm Gonna Let It Shine," and that really celebrates that light in each one of us. But I encourage you to stop and really think, what is your inside light? What is your Jesus light wanting to tell the world about who you are and what you are about and why you are love and made and wonder and creativity? We don't actually see God in this life. We get only glimpses of God in relationship with one another. And one of the ways I like to think of that is that we are almost like prisms, those things that you hang in windows that reflect the light and create patterns and rainbows in the spaces around them. We don't see God directly, but we see these glimpses or glimmers of God and God's beauty. And how we show up for someone else is how God shows up for them, in care and presence and comfort, hope and kindness and generosity. The religious education teacher Sophia Lyon-Fawes said, "Every night a child is born is a holy night. Every baby, every person gives God the opportunity to shine triumphantly in the darkness if we let our God lights shine." And so I invite you tonight, commit to making God the light and love of your life, and then go out and spread that light, your unique light that the world wants and needs. Remember that who you are, the person God made, is just right, good enough, and deeply loved. You don't have to do anything special to be worthy. The gift has already been freely given to you and you and you and me. So shine brightly in the world by being yourself. Let your light be a prism, reflecting God so that your inner self, your God light, offers beauty, peace, hope, and love to our weary world, longing to hear and know the good news. Help others know that you are a Christian not only by your love, but also by your light, Offer God glimpses to the world, prisms of beauty that lets the light of Christ shine. By sharing your light and love with the world, God shines forth in light and love. O come, Emmanuel. Alleluia, alleluia. Amen.